In the 6th to 4th centuries BC, the Armenian kingdom started to form. Unfortunately, there are very few records about the Armenian architecture of that period. The Greek historian Xenophon made some references to Armenian architecture in his books of Anabasis and Oikonomachus. He described the fortresses which he encountered during his visit to Armenia. He wrote that these fortresses were surrounded by settlements where most of the houses had 2 towers. He also mentioned houses with basements and roofs. These houses were built based on the idea of dolmen and represented the predecessors of Armenian traditional houses with roofs. During the formation and development of the Armenian kingdom, the country was actively engaged in construction and building. Since Armenia was located at the crossroads of all civilizations, the newly built cities were rapidly developing. In a relatively short period, these cities became well known around the world as cultural, trade, and economical and agricultural centers. Armenia was one of the developed countries of the time and had strong economical and cultural ties with the neighboring countries, and it was one of the Hellenic cultural centers of the Asia Minor. Therefore, the Armenian culture of that period is often referred to as Armenian Hellenic culture. The influence of the Hellenic culture is also seen in the Armenian architectural monuments of the time. The 2 architectural styles intermingle to give a new quality, which contained the best elements of both cultures. That is, the combining of the external rich style of the Hellenistic form and the constructional technique, defensive system, and materials used in the Armenian architecture. The building material was refined, tuff or granite. Cobblestone and brick were also used. The defensive walls were made without any mortar. Instead, they were held together by iron belts. Sometimes, lime mortar was used in houses or buildings of economical significance. The ceilings were made of smooth wooden surfaces or stone. These architectural advancements occurred during the dynasty of Yervantuni. The capitals of Yervantashat and Armavir are of the above-mentioned architectural style. Besides building new cities, the old Urartu fortresses were also renovated during this time. An example is the city Arkishtikhinili Armavir. The ruins of this city are located in the surrounding region of the village Armavir in the Republic of Armenia. This city was built thousands of years ago by the son of Haik Nahapet Aramais, and it was called by his name Armavir. This city was the administrative center of the northern regions during the Urartu kingdom, which was reconstructed during the 4th century BC. Archaeological excavations have unveiled remains of the inscriptions and structures of Urartu and Hellenistic style, attesting to the level of architectural sophistication. The city of Yervantashat was built at the Ararat Valley, where the rivers Arax and Akhurian meet. It was founded by the last king of the Yervantuni dynasty, Yervant, in the 3rd century BC. The citadel of this city was surrounded by huge ramparts. The gates of the ramparts were made of copper and the steps from iron. Yervantashat had water and sewage systems. In the 70s of the 2nd century, Artaxerxes first built a new capital in the Ararat Valley by the river Arax called Artashat. The city was built in the style of the Armenian Hellenistic architecture, and it was one of the famous cities of the antique world. The Greek academician Plutarch wrote that Artashat was a large and beautiful city, and he named it the Armenian Carthage. The citadel was built on a high hill reinforced by huge ramparts. The citadel was naturally protected from 2 sides by the running waters of the river Arax. Artashat was subjected to many raids but it still remained inaccessible. However, in 59 BC, the Roman legions finally captured the city. According to the Roman historian Publius Cornelius Tacitus, the huge city could not have been left behind without a guarding army. For this reason, the Romans burnt down the city before they left. King Tigran the Great was the king of Armenia from 95 to 56 BC. Under his reign, the Armenian borders extended from the Caspian Sea to the Mediterranean Sea, such that the capital Artashat was at one end of the country. Therefore, King Tigran the Great built another capital in 77 BC in the Akhznik province of Armenia Major, at the banks of river Tigris, and called it Tigranaket. Tigran the Great was a proponent of Hellenistic arts and culture, which is vividly represented in the architecture of his capital. He recruited building masters from different parts of the country to build his city. The city was surrounded by ramparts of 25 meters high. The ramparts were so thick that they accommodated the horses of the chivalry, military, and other storage houses. The population of Tigranaket was 300,000. The majority of this population were people who were brought by force from different parts of the Hellenistic cities. Due to its great geographical position and great defensive system, Tigranaket was one of the strongest cities of the time. The royal palace was built outside the city, surrounded by many gardens, fish ponds, and hunting expanses. The city is mentioned as the competitor of great Hellenistic cities of Asia Minor, Seleucid, and Antioch. In all the settlements mentioned, the center of the city is the citadel. The location of the citadel was chosen to be a safe and well-protected area, from where the city and the surrounding could be governed.